What's on more VPN? I have no idea what's going on with my internet today. It's unstable. I just want to get my stuff and come back. Watch some YouTube.
Do you understand that Miss Arnold testified that Ms. Hurd has suffered economic damages resulting from 3 statements made by Mr. Waldman?
Yes, I do.
Do you have an opinion of that claim?
I do.
All right.
The moment the other lawyer heard that, like, I do. And you're like, okay, objection, wait a second, all right, yep, okay, all right, stop.
Have you formed an opinion as to the testimony and opinion rendered by Ms. Arnold?
Yes, I have.
What's that opinion?
It is not adequately supported, and it is unreasonable.
Okay.
There were multiple elements to that analysis.
This guy's much more polite.
Both damages related to her film career and to endorsements. Have you analyzed both those issues?
Yes, I have.
What is your opinion of the claims that have been asserted relative to the film career and endorsements?
Uh-huh.
Okay, well,
Okay. Here we
first
go.
of all, with respect to her damages calculation, there was no calculation per se. She initially looked at these comparable actors and seemed to use that as a basis for numbers. She didn't provide the underlying calculation. She didn't provide underlying support. And then it appeared as though in her testimony, she backed away a little bit from that, but she still suffers from the issues of not providing detailed calculations or support for where those numbers come from. And she
True.
still, to some extent, appears to be using some kind of comparable analysis.
All right.
Yeah, based off what she
the
heard.
type of analysis that you think is appropriate here?
Well, I think, and as you heard from the last witness, I think that something that is anchored in facts, taking a look at historical compensation as a basis for anticipating future compensation.
Had you looked at Ms. Heard's prior compensation?
Yes, I have. I've looked at tax returns that were provided for the period of 2013 through 2019.
Why do you want to use
Okay.
historical earnings?
Well, once again, you want an analysis that's anchored in fact.
Okay.
I don't believe that Ms. Arnold has done that in her analysis. So here we've got some actual data. We've got some historical
Remember that?
compensation.
Actual data?
And as the last witness mentioned, that often provides somewhat of a basis for future anticipated earnings.
It does.
In addition, I believe that Ms. Arnold herself said that she had hoped to be able to look at a renegotiated salary for Aquaman 2 and then use that as a basis for future compensation, that being the new kind of base, if you will.
All right. Were there any years in particular that you focused on in your analysis
Okay, let's see this.
as to Ms. Arnold's testimony?
Yeah, imagine the numbers. Yeah.
In terms of the historical compensation?
Yes.
Well, for 2013 through 2019 in total, her compensation was around $10 million for all those years combined.
It's a lot of money.
In 2019, the last of those years, her compensation was somewhere between about $2.6 million and $3 million.
Okay.
Now, that's a good year. That's known as a clean year.
What do you mean by a clean year?
Well, for example, 2019, you had Aquaman was released in December of 2018, and that was a successful film.
It was.
So in 2019, you've got the benefit of that kind of success,
Yeah.
and you also don't have any potential impact from the alleged defamatory Waldman statements that occurred in April of 2020. So 2019 is clean of all that.
What did you understand
That's
Ms.
a good
Arnold's
point.
methodology to be?
Yep.
Her methodology initially appeared to be based on these comparable actors that she had identified, and theoretically, the compensation that they earned.
Right.
Although she doesn't
Theoretically.
identify what that compensation is or provide any support for it or any
Of course not.
calculations.
That would require evidence. They don't have
What
that.
is your opinion of that methodology from an accounting perspective?
That methodology
Make for
was
concepts.
unsound. It's just unsupported. There are no numbers. There's no data that she provided and support for that.
Yep. Yep.
What methodology did you understand Ms. Arnold to adopt at trial?
Okay, well, it looked like somewhat of a mix and match approach. She used different approaches, I believe, for different elements of the damages, although it's still a little bit unclear to me, a little bit vague.
Uh-huh.
But There are 4 basic components that she was looking at, and we can go through those in any order you wish.
All right.
Man, these wings are
With
fire.
respect to the television series portion of her analysis,
Picture duty stuff.
what do you understand that methodology to be?
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let's
Objection,
see
Your
it.
Honor, may we approach?
Okay, yeah, see, they're trying to take up as much time as possible and you know, like, take this off the rails as many times as they can. Yeah, can we approach, like, this is just, it's too much. They're scared of them? Well, the thing is, like, as I said, is that Amber Heard's testimony and, like, all of their witnesses and their entire defense, everything about it is reliant completely on implications and assumptions. That's about it. And trust. Like, you should trust that this is what's true or not. And so the moment that you have somebody that actually goes up there and has numbers and actually has experience and can explain things based off of evidence, well, then all of that stuff immediately falls apart. It doesn't matter anymore because its evidence is always going to take precedent over, like, oh, well, this is what should have happened. Well, look at the numbers. That's not what happened. It's like, well, guess what you're going to believe? It's obviously the fucking numbers. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, the literal president of D.C. testified. Yeah, I feel like it's kind of obvious. They covered the names from the monitor. Why is that? I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. Objection, facts. Yeah, objection, Your Honor. They're using facts again. Like, this isn't fair. Yeah, we can't compete with this. Come on. Are some implications? Yeah, like, yeah, and biased experts and shit like this. It's just so ridiculous. I can't believe anybody would even take the side of her. It's just crazy, man. I believe everything from Queen Amber Heard. Yeah. I think those are the people that are still left. You know, there it is. I'll have to look right now and see what's going on with the people that are tweeting about it. I think it'll be really funny to see that. I published a VOD from yesterday. It had some gore, so we had to cut it out, and we have it highlighted now. You notice after the guy started taking shit about Amber, she did note after note to her legal team. Never did she do a note regarding abuse. Ego is hurt. Well, absolutely. Like, she was fidgeting around way, way, way more whenever that guy was talking about how she was not comparable to these other actors. Meanwhile, whenever people are talking about how she got the shit beat out of her or anything like that, she's just calm and relaxed. Isn't that interesting? And that's what I said before, right? Is that, like, whenever she was, like, every time that she would start crying on the stand, it would be in the context of her ego being at risk, hurt, or damaged, or her feeling embarrassed. I think that's really what it is. Yeah, this is a pure pure ego thing. Exactly. It's the people versus Amber Heard. I don't know about that. You're gonna make a whole video if the trial ends? Yeah, I think I probably will, like, after everything finishes. Yeah, I would say so. It's just crazy. How many times they recast the Hulk? I mean, like, probably 6 times. Like, the Hulk's been recast, I mean, over, like, ever since the 70s, probably, like, 5 or 6 times. Maybe even more than that, a lot. Yeah, 3. I mean, I guess you'd have to go back and, like, 4. I thought it was a 4, really, 4? I thought it was, like, 6, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, it's not really a surprise to me at all. Why would you cry whenever talking about earnings? Because the earnings reflect her value. Does that make sense? So, like, her value as a person is reflected by the earnings, and because of that, the earnings, you know, or value as an actor. I need to use the bathroom real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, that's why.
The earnings from television shows. Did you analyze what historical earning Ms. Heard had during the period that you were concerned with relative to television shows?
Well, yes. During 2019, she entered into a contract in July of 2019 to appear in a television series at $200,000 per episode.
All right. What about endorsement deals? Did you look at what she had made on endorsement deals during that period?
She did have a contract with L'Oreal. at $1,625,000.
All right. With respect to her movie roles, what were her historical earnings during that period?
Well, certainly for the most recent years, you had the Warner Brothers deal, which was a 4-picture deal. The first film was $450,000.
Uh-huh.
Then the first Aquaman was $1 million.
Just like what she made?
Base fee. Then $2 million for Aquaman 2.
Uh-huh.
And presuming that there was an Aquaman 3, that would have been $4 million.
Right.
Okay. Why do you look at historical earnings as part of your analysis?
Because you want your analysis to be anchored in facts.
Oh.
You want it to have a
Makes
sound
sense.
methodology, and you want
Wash
to
hands?
come
No.
up with a reasonable result. So if you take a look at, for example, the analysis that Ms. Arnold did, it didn't appear to be...
Let's just look at the analysis that you're doing.
Okay.
So what you said, I think, is you wanted them anchored in facts. Why?
Because that provides a sound basis for coming up with something with reasonable certainty. There's
You have to be sure
AICPA
somehow.
Or American Institute of Certified Public Accountant guidance with respect to reasonable certainty. And those are the basic elements.
Okay.
Thank you. No further questions.
All right, cross-examination.
Actual fucking accounting evidence. Wow, what a fucking surprise. Okay, here we go. Let's see what he's going to say. Yeah, why? Why are you going to use the facts? Well, because it's good to know.
Hello again, Mr. Spindler.
Good morning.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to ask you a few questions that may refer to the statements in Amber's counterclaim against Mr. Depp. When I refer to those statements, I'm going to refer to them as the Depp-Waldman statements. Do you agree that we can both be on the same page what I'm referring to when I say that?
Okay.
That's fine. You can use your terminology.
I'm sorry, there's an objection, sir. Hold on.
Can we approach?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's what I fucking thought. Yeah, it wasn't going to happen. I'd say it's not a good morning for Amber Heard. It's not going to be a good week for her. Because what you have to keep in mind is that these witnesses is going to keep going on and on and on, because a lot of these witnesses are all going to be Johnny Depp witnesses. So yeah, it's going to be brutal. Yeah, it's like he's trying to lead him on with this other bullshit. Amber could be compared with Terrence Howard, recast for Iron Man 2, now doing weird conspiracy lectures. Yeah, I don't really know what that guy, I don't even know who that guy was. Pack, thank you very much for the 5 good subs. I appreciate that. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Amber's team wasted all their time on the case. What Amber's team did is they basically had a bunch of friends of Amber come forward and tell the same story that Amber told them, and then hope the jury would believe it. That's it.
So, Mr.
That's
Spindler,
what they
when I
did.
refer to the Depp-Waldman statements, you understand me to be referring to the statements in Ms. Heard's counterclaim against Mr. Depp,
Uh-huh.
correct?
I'll understand that, yes.
Now, you're here to provide a rebuttal opinion to part of Ms. Arnold's testimony, correct?
Correct.
You're not providing an opinion on whether Ms. Heard suffered Mr. Depp, correct?
That is true.
Okay.
You're not offering an opinion as to any of the underlying facts relating to whether Mr. Depp abused Amber, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
You're not offering an opinion as to the magnitude of damages that you believe Ms. Heard may be entitled to if she proves defamation by Mr. Depp. You're just reviewing what Ms. Arnold has said, correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
And you said that you want your analysis to be accurate in the facts, right?
Anchored in facts.
Anchored in facts. You'd agree that what an actor earns in one period isn't necessarily reflective of what he or she may earn in future periods, correct?
Correct.
And that's because
there
an
can be some
increase in the
variability.
number of roles,
Yes.
an increase in the number of roles may lead to greater income, correct?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that? I was speaking. I didn't hear.
One of the reasons that what you earn in one period may not be reflective of what an actress may earn in future periods is because an increase in the number of roles may lead to greater income.
Yeah,
correct?
of course.
The number of roles or the particular project itself, yes.
Sure, getting better roles may lead to greater income.
Exactly.
Correct.
And the
True.
same is true for an endorsement. As an actress's profile grows, the amount of money that she may be able to earn from endorsements grows as well, correct?
True.
It can.
So
It depends.
what Ms. Hurd earned from, say,
That's also true.
2013 to 2019 that you testified to isn't necessarily reflective of what she might earn over the next 5 years, correct?
Uh-huh.
Not necessarily. It is a good indicator, though.
And you'd agree
It
that
is.
from 2013 to 2019, in terms of earnings and star power, that Ms. Hurd's career trajectory was on the upswing, correct?
There was a slight increase during that period of time in her earnings from 2013 through 2019.
A
And you'd
slight
agree that that was
increase.
as a result of getting more lucrative roles, right?
Yes,
Yeah, that was
You're
a
not
slight
causation
increase. Okay.
expert, right? You're just a damages expert.
that's correct.
So you're not testifying as to whether the Depp Waldman statements caused her to lose any roles, correct?
That's correct.
And you're not offering any opinion as to whether the Depp Waldman statements kept her from being considered for roles that she otherwise would have been considered for, correct?
Uh-huh.
That's correct. I'm not testifying on causation issues.
And you can't speak to what opportunities may never have materialized for Amber as a result of the Depp Waldman statements, correct?
Of course not.
Yeah, I've not done those calculations.
Of course not.
And
How
you
could
don't have an
anybody?
opinion about whether or not Ms. Hurd could have renegotiated a contract for Aquaman 2,
It's
correct?
crazy.
That was not part of my work.
And you don't have an opinion on the impact that additional exposure or press coverage or magazine.
Interesting. Goes at all this stuff. I know you need some wings. Alright, you all, we are back. We are back. We are back. Need 3 leather and 3 coarse thread. Dang nabbit. All this can just go in here right now. Whoop. Need a feed. Let's get him. Alrighty. Now I'm gonna go ahead and put this back. What up, Daryl? Probably won't have time to engage. But never hurts to try, never hurts to try, never hurts to try, never hurts to try. Oh.
You are looking for peace. You will find it with me. Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Spirits, hear me.
And I want to kill the pig. Gotta wait till the daytime. Gotta wait for the daytime. Wish I could get the merciless poppers. I gotta kill some of these guys to get it. I need to invest in traveler gear. That way I can stay out here alone. The axe is still considering my best with. Oh yeah, my bad. I did come back here. I guess I could. Oh. trying to get on that grind, man. Give a couple more hours. Are these planks so crazy? Put a little music on. Alright, let's go ahead and take this out now that we got some vibes, some tunes, lose our mind too. Hey. What's the fake? What my babe? Hey. Here she is.
This place is not meant for you, creature. Be gone!
Damn it.
Be gone! Spirits, hear me! Spirits, hear me! Be gone!
just gonna heal up and then.
Something unnatural. I can hear the screams all around you. Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Spirits, be gone! Hear me! Be gone! Spirits, hear me!
Ooh, it's that right there that gets me every time. I swear it doesn't hit me and then I get caught in the radius. The fact that it bounces off her minions messes me up every single time.
not meant for you, creature. Gone! Be gone!
Dang it.
Be gone! Be gone! Spirits, hear me!
Keep her in front of
Spirits, hear me! Be gone!
Alright. If I don't deal with those minions, she just overpowers me and I don't have the DPS. Oh damn. I'm gonna have to be frail. I put these back in there. Very annoying. Did I really need that quartz thread? I might have to go. Wait. Put clay in there. put the doors in my base first. There's no way I can put this stuff away. Let me put it away. Let me put it away. That was it. Eventually have. I'm gonna make more ones. Storage. Alrighty. I don't need to fish. Oh, it's nighttime. I need to go feed. Like, some real. Well, not even on anything. So something close by. I'm trying to farm up. I need to. Well, I'm trying to kill this. The Bay lady or whatever. She's kicking my behind. I'm thinking about how much. Okay, I have 78. Need to figure out how many bones I have. I don't have anything else. Fish bones. That's anything. Okay. Because I need 8. Not making me a ring. take out these bosses, man. Even though I could probably maybe put that in the blood press. I don't want any of this full canteens. I don't have a horse yet. Okay, I need to keep doing this. Alright, here we go. There we go, blood press. Let me put you in. I don't know. We farm, well, I'm gonna kill these guys. Then oh my goodness, I just spilled the bag. Whatever, minor resistance, bro. Take the paper, take the copper, let's get out of here. Execute them really quick. Probably want a Deadeye to be, one of my servants. So that's the question, do I make another? I might actually do that. Because I do want, like, better servants. I'm gonna keep Daryl, of course. He's the first. No matter, he's gonna be with us from the beginning. No matter how weak he is. We're gonna turn Daryl into a Chad. servant. I'm gonna grab 4 course stir so you can fix this gear now. I know I'm probably gonna need them, but I don't want them right now. Alright, I'm gonna pause the music and we're gonna listen to this The Rising Serving God.
What's up guys, it's your boy Damone and welcome back to another V Rising video. Today guys, I wanted to provide for you the ultimate servant guide. I wanted to kind of do an extension of the initial video that I did when I was in the beta test, now that I've learned a lot more about managing servants and how to keep their misery down and where to find specific servants, so on and so forth. So we want to get into this ASAP. Now the biggest thing that I want to mention ahead of time is that servants quality or blood quality is completely random. Unfortunately, I've been digging thoroughly trying to find a way to I guess find a more consistent way to find higher quality blood types more consistently, but for me so far all it's been is killing everything in sight and hoping it respawns as a higher number. Now what is important though is the type of servant that you're getting, and then of course what type of move set that they have. And the reason why this is important is because if somebody attacks your base or monster or whatever, if you guys are playing on PvP servers, these are the skill sets or move sets that they're going to use. So if you guys are wondering what my favorite or personal favorite servant is, it's going to be the Lightweaver, who you guys can see here. So this lovely lady has a AoE spell, she has heals, she teleports, she's insane. Hands down my favorite. If I had to have a perfect mix of characters in my base, it would have to be her. One of these clerics right here, because this chick is crazy. She has a ranged holy bolt, she has a shield that she places over all allies, and then she also has a heal. She's really good in a group situation, as she's been probably one of the most annoying things to deal with when you get attacked by multiple mobs in the game. Then as we add some variety to the fight, who else I'm adding is going to be the paladin, because I want to kind of mix in some melee, you know, and some range and some kind of CC, because he also has a charge, which is also really nice, especially for close confined spaces. So I kind of want to create a situation where I have AoE and of course close quarters combat. Now the biggest thing when I'm looking at shopping my favorite thralls, because these are amongst my top 3, and I'll maybe throw in a priest because there's a guy, he summons like these little mini turrets and stuff like that. I'm looking at basically trying to make my base defense as annoying as possible, and that's typically how I'm going to shop servants. So here's the priest that I was talking about, so you guys can see he summons like these little holy turrets, which can be useful in close quarters spaces. specifically based defense. But now that you guys know what my favorites are, now let's talk about the requirements and things that you're going to need to pay attention to as you guys start to look for servants. All right, so before you guys get started and you guys are looking to tame or capture some thralls or slaves or whatever you guys want to call these guys, there's a couple of things that you guys are going to need. One of which is an ability called Blood Hunger. Now, you don't necessarily absolutely need this ability, but this ability you get from killing Tristan, Tristan, you know what I'm talking about, the vampire hunter dude. After you kill him, you'll get this, and what this will allow you to do is get blood sight, so then you can see the quality. As you guys just saw, 87% just walked past my screen. Now, this is great because this is going to allow you to see a much wider range of blood qualities instead of having to run up individually up on a target and hovering over them and seeing the percentage of their blood purity. This is going to create some opportunities for you to get in there and not accidentally kill the servant that you're actually looking to capture. Now, after you have this ability, the next thing you're going to need is a horse. Now, the reason why I say you need a horse is because this is what you're going to use once you capture your servant. You're going to get on your servant and you're just going to run the hell home. Now, one of the biggest mistakes that I made when trying to capture my servant initially was that I thought that I needed to babysit my servant and walk them very slowly back to base and protect them. But that is not the case, because unfortunately, while you have a follower active with dominating presence, which you unlock by doing the quest, your story quest in the top left corner, while this is active, you cannot use magic spells, right? So if you're like, oh, why isn't my C button working? Why isn't my R button working? It's probably because you have this activated. But once you have this going, the biggest thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to get on your horse when you have your servant, and you're just going to run home. You're not going to look back. You're not going to pay attention. You're not even going to try to make sure that your servant is following you. You're just going to make sure that you get home as fast as possible. The reason I say that is because a lot of times I've noticed when you're going home and you have a servant and you get past your gates, it'll just teleport to you anyway. So that takes a lot of stress off of you trying to manage whether or not your servant is going to get home or not get home, or stub his toe and die, or whatever. Now, granted, your servant can still take damage and can still die, and that's just the unfortunate nature of this game. But the faster you get home while leveraging that time, the easier it's going to be for you to capture your servant. Now, unfortunately, you cannot teleport while anchoring a servant, and you also cannot transform. This is why I'm saying make sure you have a horse available. Now, one of my favorite spots in the game for capturing thralls or servants or whatever you want to call these guys is the Brighthaven Docks. This is where I'm going to find my favorite ones, my Light Weaver. This is where I'm also going to find the Priest and the Paladin. And if I want to get a Cleric, then I just run out here and I go, typically speaking, to either the mines up here or this area over here or this area over here. But the Cleric is typically hanging around those areas. Now, if you guys are trying to spice things up, there are also some rogues, the guys in the beginning of the game that went invisible, that used the dual daggers that incapacitated you. You can add some creativity there, but that's typically what I'm looking for when I'm trying to capture servants for my base. Now, one pro tip is this. If you guys are capturing villagers, okay, all you really need to do is just utilize the dominating presence and just press R and activate them. The reason I say that is because you don't need to damage them ahead of time, because regular villagers are so weak that I can't tell you the amount of villagers that I've just accidentally killed from trying to lower their health, when I could have just used the dominating presence flat out and cast it on them, and it'll drain their life very quickly, and then you'll be able to capture them. However, with standard enemies, you will have to attack and weaken them. Obviously, the lower their health, the faster the conversion will take place, and the better off you'll be. Now, for the sake of example, we're just going to grab this Paladin here. We're just going to weaken him. He's a very, very low percentage, so this is not typically something that I'm looking for. When I'm trying to shop servants, I'm trying to get as high as a percentage as possible. Typically, I start at 80% or above, but if you're just looking to do something where you want to increase the quality of your servants periodically, then you can start with, let's say, like a 27% or 20%, and then as you discover more and more types of servants or higher quality servants, and you can just replace your servants periodically. Now, with that being said, please make sure you take all of the gear and stuff off of the servants that you're sacrificing, just to make sure that you're good to go. All right, so now I just made a mistake here. Now, one thing you guys want to be aware of is that if you guys are taking over servants, you don't want to lower their health too much, but I would say about 25% is the safe zone, but you don't want to lower their health too much, because, you know, the lower their health is, the higher chance that they have to die on your way back home. So now that you have your servant captured, you're basically just going to get a horse. Again, you should have did this ahead of time, but typically speaking, you want to come in with a horse that's at least 10 point whatever, so you can get out as fast as you can. Now again, this is one of my favorite spots because of the fact that it has a stable here and horses that respawn, so I could typically stay here all day until I find the servant with the percentage or purity, with the quality of blood purity that I'm looking for. So now we're just going to make our way home. Again, this is why I stress, like, don't even worry about your servant. Like, if they're following you, just run. I think obviously if you're taming a villager, you have a lot less of a chance to get the villager home. So this is where it's going to be beneficial to have a base that's close by, to ensure that you're able to get your servant where you need them to be. So now that we've arrived at our base, depending on what you want to do, you're either going to put your servant in jail, or you're going to put your servant in a coffin. Doesn't really sound like a good choice, does it? But as you go through this, the options that this is going to provide you are numerous. So let's just pretend for a second that this guy is 100% quality.
Put everything in
now, the reason why you're going to put these servants in prison is because it's going to offer you a chance to control your blood type. So let's say he was 100% warrior type. I'm going to be looking at the type of bonuses that I get, and this is going to basically give you an option to kind of create your own class. Now, ideally speaking, you're looking for 100% only, so you can get the boost for all effects by 30% as you guys look at tier 5. Now, my personal favorite blood type happens to be either the Brute or the Scholar, but you guys got to find which one works for you. Now, as you go through this, what this is going to allow you to do is drain blood if you have a empty vial in your inventory. Keep in mind, though, that if their health is too low, you can kill these prisoners. Now, the beautiful thing about this is as you continue to feed them specific foods, this is going to have certain effects on the prisoner. As you guys can see here, it says this prisoner recovers 30 to 70% health, and the prisoner's misery is reduced by 15 to 30%. Now, if you guys are wondering what misery is, what this does is the higher the misery is, the more damage they take when you feed from them. So you want to keep this as low as possible. So if you guys are fishing and or farming in my ultimate loot spot back in Silverlight City, you guys really want to keep an eye on your sagefish, okay? And you also want to keep an eye on your rainbow trout. Now, between these two, this will help keep your misery down, so that way you can feed infinitely and collect blood vials from your thralls. Blood vials are so important when it comes to making your boss fights easier, being more effective in PvP, and then overall team play if you guys are looking to construct like the perfect team with your friends. So if one of your friends is using slicers, is he running like rogue blood, or if you're being a bruiser with like a mace and you're running with like a root blood, these are things that you need to think about when forming your ultimate vampire, and of course creating your ultimate team. Now, if you guys are opting not to put them in prison, you guys can just hit charm and jail, and then you guys will hit convert. Now, before we convert them, the reason why the blood quality is so important is because the higher the quality, the higher the expertise. Now, understand the amount of power required equipment will also affect how you're performing missions, and also affects how they're going to perform in combat if you guys have them. So you guys want to make sure that you always get as high as quality as possible. Now, unfortunately, there's an RNG range, so you're also going to be kind of try to convert these servants and get the highest expertise roll possible, and that's where you guys are going to roll from there. Now, you guys are also going to pay attention to what their specialty types are. So you guys see here, the blood type is a warrior, so he has military tactics, which reduces difficulty by 100 when hunting in fortified areas. What this means is that when you send this servant out, it's basically going to make it to where they can tackle certain areas with less power, essentially. So let's say an area needed 1,000 power, but he has this particular trait in the area that you're sending him, so now it's only going to take 900 power, if that makes sense. And then as you go to the other thing, depending on what type of hunter they are or type of trait that they have here, determine the amount of loot that they receive in specific locations. So you want to make sure you're sending the best servants for the job. So let's go ahead and hit convert. One thing you guys definitely want to make sure that you do when you guys put your coffins and stuff here, I don't have it yet, I haven't installed my crypt floors on my private server yet, but you guys want to make sure that you guys use crypt floors and section off a separate room so these guys can convert faster. Once you have your servant tamed, what you're going to be able to do essentially is you're going to be able to fully equip them. So just think of it like 9 other little U's running around that are going to need full gear, and you're going to take into consideration the fact that they're going to use exactly the abilities that they use to fight you with when you're trying to tame them, and the type of equipment that they have. When you combine these two things together, this is going to allow you to formulate the ultimate base defense along with your building strategies that we talked about in a previous video. Now, if you're not on a PvP server, then you guys are going to want to make sure you spend a lot of time at your throne, because what you can do is you can start sending your servants out to collect materials or pesky materials that you're having a hard time getting. So you need those scales or pristine hide. Or if you're looking to get a bunch of silver ore and you don't feel like making a trip because you live on the other side of the map, you can use this to send your servants out to make sure that they get what you need. Now, one thing I really need you guys to understand though when you guys are going through this is that the power level of the requirements is individually based, meaning that you can't send 3 units that equal 650. You have to send 3 units that all have a minimum of 650 power level. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind here, as I move my big head out of the way, is that there's different things that you guys can do here in terms of adjusting the time. If you guys don't want hours, let's say you guys want to drop that down to 2 hours, this increases their chance of injury, but it also reduces their success rate. However, you can offset this if your thrall is strong enough, meaning that if they're way stronger than the power score required, you should pretty much be okay. But sending servants or thralls on missions is really effective, especially for resource management. For those of you guys on PvE servers, if you guys are on PvE servers, you have 2 bases with a total of 18 servants that you can literally split this up. You can have half of your servants defending your base, you can have the other half all on missions, you can put all 18 on missions, and you can have an insane stockpile of materials while you do what it is that you like to do most. Now, the big thing though for those of my cats on PvP is you're gonna have to strike a balance, okay? If you're on a solo duo server, you definitely don't want to be sending all your servants out on missions just in case you guys get attacked. Obviously prime times are siege windows when, you know, that's 6 hours when anything can happen. You want to make sure your servants are there to help defend what you have going on. Now, speaking of that, in terms of making sure that your servants stay in a specific place, so for example, let's say the park was in here and I knew that the enemy was going to be coming in here. I wanted to make sure that my servants were here. What you can do is you can build specific doors that have servant locks that prevent servants from leaving. So what I like to do is I'll build all of my coffins or move all of my coffins in a room. Then what I'll do is I'll put servant locks on the doors that I want them not to go through. And then I'll summon all of my servants in a room, and then I'll just move their coffins. I'll move their coffins somewhere that, you know, they aren't attackable, or the enemy will probably get to them at a later point. And then I'll let my servants sit in a room that I know my enemies are going to move through, so they can defend accordingly. But again, if you guys are going to employ that strategy, you need to make sure that your servants are well geared. And you can apply this strategy anywhere in your castle that has space to put a coffin or coffins. So you can summon your servants and place them. Just utilize your doors to lock them in the area that you want them to defend. And they will not leave. They'll just stand there, look cute, and, you know, whoever comes through there better be ready to catch them hands, because that's what's about to happen. Outside of that, though, that's pretty much it. You got your prison prisoner stuff covered. You have the type of food and stuff that you now know that you need to have. You have a process where you know that you need to make sure you have a fast horse available, because you don't necessarily need to babysit your servant as much as you just need to get back to your base. You know exactly how to lock your servants in place. You know exactly how to shop for particular servants that you're looking for. Now, the reason why I only cover the ones in Civilized City is because, in my opinion, those right now are the best ones. There are some decent ones in the regular world, but for the most part, those are the coolest ones that I've seen, and I hope that the development company Stunlock definitely releases more servant types so we can see more interactions with the workers as well. Now, again, just a reiteration, guys, I have not found a way to guarantee a certain blood quality type. But again, the fastest way is just to, you know, throw your blood vision on, run around the world on horseback, and hopefully you run into something that's 100% and you don't accidentally kill it. But again, more importantly than that is just making sure that they have the skill set or the move set that you need. And then once you identify that, you know, identifying the blood quality, of course, and then getting them back to your base safely so you can do what it is that you need to do to get them employed. So with that,
All right, that was pretty informational. Really need to get more. Lovely blue. I feel like I have everything. No, I see what you have. We have 4. I have the 1 blood, and I need. Who does? Found a place for some bones. doing some midday traveling. You know, keep it risky. Ooh. Looks like it just reverts back to whatever it was. That's pretty cool. That's probably why they went on the raid.
Back. I had the button stuck out in base.
That's
There's like a whole team over there.
I was just watching the shit go down, dude.
Yo.
Yeah.
Alright, peace out, guys.
Well played, Pumper. Well played, Kiori. Thanks for the show, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. We're testing out the siege behind.
there a B Rising roadmap? Look that up. B Rising roadmap. My goodness, I need to figure out. I wish it gave me what the settings mean. I wish it told me what these things mean. Nothing is helpful, man. Like, I swear they make guides and they're just like, yeah, dude, we got a server and it works. And you're like, thank you. What was it, Castle? Yes, I'm gonna ask. Okay. So I think I can make quick, I need to see. See detail. Let me make this the same. Where we at? Everything here is the same. Oh, permanent nest limit or tone listening. Yeah, we're doing 12. Safety box limit. And these settings are weird. Three. I have no idea how people are responding to Twitter, Reddit. Hey, thank you. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the team. I'm playing this. How are you all doing? Again, thank you for the follow. I'm just trying to figure out. I mean, I only have it at 4 because I wasn't sure. I guess they left for another reason. Ooh, it would be like Rust.
The trees foretold your coming. Be gone! This place is not meant for you, creature. Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Be gone! Spirits, hear me! Be gone! Spirits, hear me!
I'm gonna have to just keep practicing with the axe and get good. I'm really worried about. I don't like the hard exam right here. It could just really get more bones. That's my problem. Yeah, I don't need bounce at all. I'm gonna feed. Feed. I know I need to raise my because I want to get that mouse transfer. That be close. Be that. Use that for 5 minutes. So this is for now. You put that in. do want to know how PvP will work long term.
The chaos!
Killing myself. I feel like with regular PvP, there's like no, like once you get max skill level. PvP server. a seat. Look at young girl. I mean, all this workshop, you know what I mean? alchemy floor in here. This is a little bit. Okay, okay. So this is the alchemy room, and everything is cheaper and okay. Blow stuff up. Okay. Okay, floors, push up. Big points. There's forward. You want for the door. We can do some alchemy, pretty stuff. That would have been perfect, so bad. Yeah, this is the torch. Sigil or clean. I probably should have done this before I made it. good. Alright, you all, I am done streaming for the night. I got my base in a decent spot. Income, got some balls. It's a little bit. This is this quarter, like, damn. That'll be alright. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm gonna lock these doors. We back. Have an altered stream schedule. I don't really know which door. Alright, good night everyone. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will see you all later.